Hi, Stijn.
Hi, Tracy. How are you?
Good, and you?
Good, good, good. Oh.
Thank you for joining us today. And I know that between us all, we stress slightly in terms of StreamYard and how to broadcast, but so far so good. I'm getting WhatsApps telling us it's working. So thank you so much. I think for most of you, you all know Stijn, but for those of you who maybe have not had the have met him or know that he took over from Elaine Gregory in July 2020. He has been with SAP for over 20 years. I always talk about the SAP employees who've been with SAP for over 20 years. In South Africa, Stijn, you were known as an SAP dinosaur. That's we call people like ourselves. I joined SAP in 1995 and then left and returned to the user group world. So I think you're in very capable hands with Stijn as the managing director for Belgium and Luxembourg. And I'm going to hand over to Stijn and let him start. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Tracy. And welcome, everyone. First, I want to start by saying thank you, Frank and Tracy, for organizing this event. I know it has been a hassle moving from a physical event into a virtual event, having to change the date a couple of times, but finally we are there, and we are going to make a very good session out of it. Referring to what Frank said earlier on, I definitely believe that the user group is very important, and therefore all the volunteers that are driving these initiatives, I'm really very, very thankful on behalf of myself and on behalf of SAP, obviously. And for me, a user group should kind of foster the collaboration between SAP customers, with the partners, with the SAP employees, and obviously everyone should become better out of this interaction. What I would like to talk about is a couple of things. First, I will give you some insight on where we are with SAP in Belgium, share some statistics that I think are statistics to be proud of, statistics that are relevant and important for you to drive your strategies. That's one thing. And on the other hand, I will also share some insights on some newer evolutions in our solution portfolio, things that we recently have announced and things we are about to announce in the coming period. And then at the end of the keynote, I have Karel Hellebout, who will join me to explain the initiatives, what we are doing to drive more SAP knowledge into the Benelux market. So, okay, let's start. Okay, now I need to. Okay. Just a quick recap, going a little bit back into history to explain the evolution, where we come from and where we are going to. When you have followed the social media, and I assume, I hope you are aware that we are existing in Belgium now for 30 years. Actually, SAP is active for more than 30 years in the Belgian market, but the legal entity, SAP Belgium, has been created 30 years ago. In those 30 years, many things have actually evolved. I've asked the team to collect some logos that have changed. Our portfolio has changed enormously. I still remember when I started at SAP, and now 21 years ago, our list of products that were on the price list was actually 2 pages, and now if you would print it, it would probably be a booklet. So the offering from SAP has evolved enormously, and let's say the portfolio that we are offering to our customers to run an enterprise in an intelligent way is becoming top-notch and high quality. So some of those logos are definitely familiar for some of the people here in the call. Next to evolution into our portfolio, UI, the thing we get critics about from time to time, especially in the past. I've asked the team to prepare a history, how our UI has evolved. It has evolved from a mainframe-oriented screen with black and yellow or black and green into a user interface which is prioritized with tiles, which is adapted to the roles. And so I think also from that perspective, we have made a big progress. So our portfolio, our functional offering has grown, and the way we consume it has also grown significantly. Where does it bring us today into the Benelux market? Some facts and figures, what SAP Belgium represents. Actually, I can share that today we have about 2,000 customers that have a relation with SAP Belgium. So when I say 2,000 customers, I mean 2,000 companies that have an agreement with SAP Belgium, because next to that, there are more companies that are obviously also using SAP, but they are then linked to SAP in relation via their mother company, which is then based in one of the countries around us. So to date, we have 2,000 customers. So actually, Tracy, your ambition should be that those 2,000 customers should be part of the SAP user group. To share some statistics, how are those customers divided? We have actually 140 customers that we are labeling as strategic or big customers. The threshold we use there is typically a revenue threshold of 1 billion euro. So we have 140 customers that have a turnover which is bigger than 1 billion euro. Why am I bringing this up here? Because in discussions, especially when I'm talking to net new names, and net new names being typically in the small and mid-size business, we are always battling against the image that SAP is for the big ones and not for the small ones. Actually, the statistics demonstrate the opposite. So we have 140 big customers, and we have 1,500 customers with a revenue below 150 million euro. So yes, we definitely have a footprint into the small and mid-size industries. And actually, this is also where our growth is in terms of amount of new customers and also potential companies that are participating in these user group events. To give you an idea, every year, approximately 100, it depends a bit from year to year, in the high 80s, low 90s, high 90s, roughly 100 new customers are signing up for the first time with one or more solutions from SAP. ERP is often going into those customers, but definitely not always ERP is going into those new customers. That's roughly the case for half of those 100. But next to ERP, we have customers going for the first time for an HR-based solution, which is then SuccessFactors, for a CX-based solution, for an analytics-based solution, for a travel and expense management solution, etc., etc. So SAP, the going into those new customers, most of the time it's ERP, but for the other 50%, it can be a wide span of solutions that where those customers get for the first time the relation with SAP. Actually, it took us 30 years in Belgium to come to 2,000 customers. That's if you do the mathematics, it's roughly 70 to 80 per year over the last 30 years. Something which is obviously trending very much is the move to the cloud. And that's what I want to explain and share a little bit with you for the moment. So SAP has made the first steps into the cloud by doing some acquisitions. We did the acquisition in the SuccessFactors arena, so in the HR arena with SuccessFactors, in the procurement arena with Ariba, in the I got a message from the UserDay. Okay, I will switch this one off. In the procurement arena with Ariba, in the analytics area, we did acquisitions also. So we did a couple of acquisitions, and some solutions we have natively grown. To date, I can share with you that in Belgium, 475 customers, so out of the 2,000, 475 customers have made a step or more steps into the SAP cloud, meaning that they have a cloud subscription with SAP. At this stage, it's mostly line of business related solutions. With line of business, I mean an HR-based solution, a procurement-based solution, an analytics-based solution, a customer experience-based solutions, travel and expense, and those are the most important ones. And so out of the 2,000, 475 are a cloud customer from SAP. To be very blunt, that's actually an initiative on which we are investing in the last 4 to 5 years significantly, which actually means it took us 30 years to come to 2,000 customers, and it took us 4 to 5 years to transform almost 500 into a cloud solution from SAP. Now, those cloud customers, a part of those cloud customers typically have more than one cloud solution. And so what we notice is that once the customer goes into a line of business direction into the cloud, that very fast after that, let's say the cloud portfolio within the customer base is growing. So 40% of the 475 customers have more than one cloud solution from SAP. And so they have, for instance, and a customer experience, and a SuccessFactors, and an analytics cloud, and a SuccessFactors, and a Concur, and a sub-cloud platform, etc., etc. So 40% have more than one cloud solution, and in total, we have a bit more than 700 cloud environments up and running, covering the Belgian market. So this is Belgian statistics dating back from the summer period, so pretty recent information. So the shift to the cloud is going extremely fast. I will later on talk also a little bit about ERP in the cloud, because those are figures, line of business cloud, and not ERP in the cloud. Let's say, what are the most consumed cloud line of business cloud solutions from SAP? You see the ranking here. So, and this is in terms of numbers of cloud environments. So the most frequent cloud environment we have is our SAP Cloud Platform. And so our cloud platform that allows you to integrate applications, that allows you to extend applications, so to build, to make developments on the sub-cloud environment. That's actually our most common cloud platform for the moment in Belgium. Shortly followed by SAP SuccessFactors and Customer Experience, and then by the Analytics Cloud and the sub-education portfolio with, on one hand, the Learning Hub and the Performance Builder in the cloud. So those are actually the top 5. Just to give you an idea, we have almost 200 customers in Belgium that are running a SAP Cloud Platform. So that's a pretty significant statistic, and that's actually being built up in the last 3 to 4 years. So that's a very trending solution into the cloud. Okay. I've talked so far about the line of business solutions in the cloud. Next thing that I want to share with you is our ERP, our S/4HANA, actually our flagship product into our portfolios. The two S4 offerings that are pretty familiar to most of the people in the session here, at least that's what I assume, are the ones at the left and the ones at the right. We have our S/4HANA public cloud offering, in which we have 2 flavors, and we have the Essentials and the extended version, which is actually the go-to S4 cloud platform for customers going for a new implementation, and it comes with predefined content. The aspect of the new implementation is important. When we are signing net new names, so when customers are deciding for the first time for an SAP ERP solution, the statistics show that in 90% of the cases, it's a public cloud offering they are going to. On the right-hand side, we have our S4 on-premise portfolio, which is then the next generation of our ECC, our ERP ECC component. Let's say the advantages and the strong points of our on-premise portfolio are very well known. It gives you, let's say, not complete flexibility, but much more flexibility compared to running it on a cloud environment. You're controlling it yourself. You're running it on an infrastructure that you define and manage yourself or through a third party. Now, a new offering which we will which we will announce officially in the 3rd week of January. It's actually a global announcement that's going to be made. But we have already made a pre-announcement on the SAP Now Live event at the end of October, is the private cloud. Actually, the SAP private cloud is for customers that are currently running an ECC on another infrastructure, or eventually an S4 already on a certain infrastructure, and moving it into a private cloud that is managed by SAP. To date, it is available in a controlled way. We are running a project actually at 3 customers in Belgium, and let's say the first go lives on this new offering is foreseen in April this year at one of those 3 customers. So that's kind of the combination of giving you the flexibility of the on-premise environment, combining it with the advantages of a cloud offering. Those two, let's say the best of those 2 worlds are merged into our S/4HANA private cloud offering, on which there is more to come in the coming period in January. So that's another thing that I wanted to share with us. When we take all those elements into our solution portfolio, then actually we talk about the intelligent enterprise. And actually also in our overall solution portfolio, things have evolved and things will evolve, what I will explain to you right now. And so an intelligent enterprise, let's say, key characteristics of an intelligent enterprise is that they have integrated business processes. Typically, we are talking about a hire to retire, a source to pay, a quote to cash, and a design to operate. Those are typically the high-level business process scenarios that we want to integrate with our solution portfolio. We want to integrate them within a company and in between companies over the business networks. In order to allow this, we have on one hand our intelligent suite, which is actually our full suite of solutions that are very well known to most of you in this session. And also later today, you will see many of those solutions coming back in the follow-up sessions. All those products, they have a roadmap, they have a future, and we continue building on those on the intelligent suite platform. What is actually complementary and also rather new is our industry cloud, and that's where I want to talk about for a few moments. Actually, our industry cloud is a cloud offering from SAP, but also from partners that is focusing on industry-specific requirements. So those cloud platforms are typically answers to the needs of specific industry, specific requirements from specific industries. To date, we have 8 industry cloud offerings. So we have cloud offerings for 8 specific industries. And remember, SAP with the Intelligent Suite, we are covering 26 for the moment. And so to date, we have 8 industries covered with our industry cloud, amongst others in utilities, in retail, in consumer products, in the engineering and construction, and a few more. And so certain industries are already covered in our industry cloud, and more is to come in the coming period. So SAP, it's SAP's belief that if we really want to integrate into industry-specific requirements, we need to build on the industry cloud offering. Okay. Now the supporting layer on which the Intelligent Suite, so our solution suite is running, on which the industry cloud is running, is what we position or call our business technology platform. Our business technology platform is the foundation layer, and the foundation layer that is covering on one hand database and data management requirements. It's covering the analytics topic. It allows you to do application integration and application extension or application development. And it also comes with intelligent technologies like the Internet of Things, like machine learning, like robotic processing, etc., etc. And so the technologies that can be used or can be consumed in the Intelligence Suite, they are typically running on the business technology platform. Another dimension or another key element into our offering is our experience management portfolio, which is then the Qualtrics acquisition. And actually, with experience management, we on one hand want to collect feedback and information from the stakeholders. The stakeholders can be customers, it can be employees, it can be partners, it can actually be anyone. It's collecting that information, it's analyzing that information, and it's taking decisions, so acting upon that information. When feedback is not positive, you can act on it and take certain decisions with regards to the design of the products, with regards to the customer service, with regards to the sales processes, etc., etc. So with the experience management, we want to capture the experience, use that information to take good business decisions that make the overall experience better on the mid to long term. That's obviously a portfolio we are, or an offering we are supporting with Qualtrics. Then a newer dimension into our portfolio is everything which has to do with sustainability. Actually, it's SAP's belief that we should play a more important role there. And we have lots of customers that are running on SAP globally. We have lots of customers that are running their supply chain processes on SAP. So actually, it's our belief that as we have that position into the market, if we enhance our current offerings with a sustainable dimension that allows to collect information on energy consumption, on the emission of certain toxic gases over the overall supply chain and even across companies, then you can do some decent sustainability reporting. New requirements are probably being driven out of local and global legislations, and that's obviously also something SAP will follow up very closely. A recent product that we have made available, or a recent offering we have made available in this range, is the SAP Carbon Footprint on Product Level Analytics, which is a solution that has been made available in that area. Okay. A last thing that I want to share with you is actually the infrastructure, where, let's say, in the 20 years I'm with SAP, let's say 90% of the environments were running on customer-managed data centers. We see, let's say, the shift towards the hyperscalers. I also understood that this is one of the topics later on the agenda today. Actually, you make no distinction there. All major hyperscalers are supported by SAP, and actually there, let's say, the choice of the deployment is really a decision you have to make on yourself. As you can see, we are evolving. I've started with the history, explaining the position where we are, and then explaining where we are going to. It's a very dynamic and a fast-moving world. In order to do that, we need knowledgeable people and skills to be able to make sure there is enough knowledge in the market. That's a topic that Karel will explain later on. But now I would like to open up for questions, if there are any questions. And so I will have a look into the chat area as Tracy was explaining earlier on. So if you have questions, please use the chat. And I'm now opening the chat. So I see a question. How do you see the amount of? Okay, I have to accept it, and then when my information is correct, you should see it. So the first question is, how do you see the 720? I assume then the cloud customers evolving for 2021. Actually, it took us 4 to 5 years to go to the 720, and the 720 will will only go up. It's hard to say. I know at this stage, the overall statistics where we are year to date in terms of net new names, not yet by heart in terms of cloud offerings, but I can tell you that the amount will definitely go up because we see a huge trend towards the cloud, towards our cloud offerings. A second question that I see here, and that's a question from Frank. How do you see the role of a country SAP organization in the ERP in the cloud offering? Actually, it's a very broad question. The cloud infrastructures are obviously not run into Belgium actually. Yeah? So they are run on hyperscalers, and then depending on the hyperscaler, it's very often in Europe, but depending on the hyperscaler, let's say the country can differ. What is the role of the SAP organization is that every cloud ERP environment has a contact point in the SAP organization, the customer engagement executive, and it's the role of that person to make sure that, let's say, the onboarding goes well, that the consumption goes well, that in case of issues that they are treating and answering those questions, and actually at the end of the initial engagement, which is typically 3 to 5 years, that the consumption of the cloud is continued. So the role of the local market unit is making sure that there is a good satisfaction of the cloud offering, that it's actually consumed, and that the consumption is extended into the future. I see another question. If we, and I will read the question, if we evolve to a SaaS solution, what is the key differentiator towards other ERP vendors? Actually, for me, the key differentiator remains the key differentiators that are currently present for SAP. And for me, and in a very quick summary, it's our functional coverage, our geographical coverage, the fact that we are reaching functionality, that we are running in multiple countries, in multiple languages, that we comply to multiple legislation, that actually for me remain elements that they remain in place even when you go to a cloud-based ERP offering. I'll see if some more questions are coming in. Okay. No, I don't see any more questions anymore. So I'll suggest we go then to Karel. Karel Hellebout is also an employee from SAP. Let's say within SAP Belgium, he is, amongst others, responsible for the alliances, for the alliance with the university. He's also responsible for the 1,000 Jobs program. And Karel will explain you what we have been doing recently in order to drive the amount of knowledgeable SAP people into the Benelux market.
Yes.
Hi, Karel.
Thank you, Stijn. Thank you for that introduction. Now, the most asked question is, do you hear me? And I think it's yes. Otherwise, I would be on mute. Also, the most used verb this time, so you are on mute. But thanks, Stijn. So let's kick off with the 1,000 Jobs initiative, also known under the People to Work flag, but as this started more than 2 years ago already. Time moves fast. With the support of our partners, we would like to keep the 1,000 Jobs as a main title. So my name is Karel Hellebout, and I run the Education Partner Program in Benelux. So today I will present you 149 slides, followed by a short movie. So do not fall asleep yet, but if needed, grab some coffee and try to keep up with the pace, because I will be fast. So let's get digital. As we are evolving into a new way of working within all companies, and yes, that is also boosted by the current pandemic, it's clear that the move to S4 and the move to cloud solutions, like Stijn already explained, is the way forward for our customers in essence. Now, becoming more digital is really key. And to be able to cope with that demand and to fulfill the demand for new professionals in that market, both at the partner level, but also at you guys, customer level, customer side, we needed to build an engine. Actually, if you could already have your mobile phones ready, you will need it later. So this is the engine that we built. We needed to build an engine, both robust and solid, but also recognizable to everybody in the field, with a specific cost of maintenance and a proven track record of endurance and power delivery. To be able to have the right traction right out of the gate, but also to keep the momentum going. And yes, we found this in Beuckelaer. So the partner I would like to present to you today is Beuckelaer. As you can see from Stijn's announcement and the press article beginning of this month, where we highlighted the new partnership between Beuckelaer and SAP to support those type of training on the SAP solutions. So both to our partners and our customers can benefit from this engine that we try to create, and therefore we could react to the high demand for people with SAP trainings in the market. Now, who is Beuckelaer? As you can see here, they run a tight ship, and they started already as a non-profit in 2017, and they have trained over 1,000 people so far. So adding the SAP program will only boost that number. They have different partnerships with the VDAB, Brussels Formation and Le Forum, but also with Sephora and some major telco companies who have invested in them. They also operate from 6 different locations within Belgium. So they cover the Walloon, the Brussels and the Flemish part. It would be an understatement not to point out that this is really a major asset. So we can train people everywhere if needed. And we do this in a classroom setting. So we have classrooms on those locations, and with our platform setup, they are able to connect with the central learning hub, which is in Germany, by the way, where we deliver the correct and certified training material. So all the training material is certified. It's the same everywhere, in every classroom or in every course, depending on the course you follow, obviously. And the approved course conducted with SAP education and client-specific content if needed. So if we have a customer or client or people from Sapiens that have a specific need, we can also conduct those trainings. But yes, seeing the recent new way of working, I should say home working, we also do this via virtual or even via the streaming or interactive courses. And we deliver a license for Learning Hub if needed, so the trainees can also do this at their own pace within their time preferred, also very valuable. All this to make the onboarding, but also the courses themselves, as open and easy to access to everybody. Regarding the different streams or flights, as I tend to call them, it is our intention to deliver in the future trainings for end users, developers, and consultants, as those are the 3 top open positions asked in the market, and those will also help us as SAP to speed up accordingly with the demand out of the market for these profiles. At the end of the trainings, every student or graduate receives a certificate when a specific training is successfully conducted. This is a superb and valued asset for both them and the employers. And that's resulting in a recognized and certified workforce. So in fact, we wanted to have a jet engine, not only an engine, but a jet engine, ready to build up the speed and momentum we need to reach the correct altitude and gain speed for the new digital adventures. But, yes, but, there's also a but indeed, and this is where the Sapiens part comes into play. As we needed to fuel this engine. And again, this is where you all come in. So a little wake-up call here, meaning we are looking for all kinds of people to connect and gain interest in this program. And therefore, we are literally looking for all kinds of fuel, meaning people from all backgrounds, educated, not educated, switching jobs, or the ones that are open for new challenges within your company. So we have created a little survey to better understand your needs. This is where your mobile comes in handy. So if you point your mobile camera at this QR code on the right, you will be able to give us some feedback and answer some questions. You can do this after the presentation. Just be sure that you have the QR code already in the camera of your mobile. I'll wait another 5 seconds. Okay. So, as you probably know...
I've got many requests just to quickly ask you. In your slide deck, you've got meetings open, and it's distracting quite a few of the attendees.
These. Okay.
There, so I'm removing myself and going back to you. So
no problem, Tracy. You're always welcome, and thanks for me for being here. Sorry. So as you probably know, we already do support the early adopters through our University Alliance program, where we deliver our solutions as from elementary to high school all the way up to university. But we wanted to do even more via this initiative, the 1000 Jobs initiative, and through our partner Beuckelaer in connection with you and our partners. I hope everything is smooth now, by the way. And we do not only target the smartest cookies or the Einsteins amongst us, but every level, such as people without any degree whatsoever due to several reasons, as quitting school or being unemployed, as we have no limit in accepting people as long as the enthusiasm and the drive are there. They are more than welcome, so please do spread the word towards your clients and partners, or even in the holiday season between Christmas and New Year, people that you know, hey, there's this training that you can follow. It's a partnership, SAP, etc., etc. Thank you for that. So we will also monitor closely the curricula, which trainings we give, and follow the trends in the market during the next trainings to be able to tailor-made response to the demand in the market and adapt the courses and curricula to needs of the clients and the partners. So this QR code comes in very, very handy when we also have this feedback. So in this way, we can have a great flight and see that the 1000 Jobs initiative finally takes off with the speed and the momentum needed. So we do need every help possible, again, to fuel the engine and even use the afterburners if possible. So just to recap, and this is my final slide, it is our aim to teach people of all levels and backgrounds the new digital techniques in order to support the new digital ways of doing business for any enterprise, would it be in end user, developer, and consultant roles, and have happy people with a great future and clear road ahead. So from my side, wishing you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and thank you, Tracy, again, for letting me present this at Sapiens. So let's finish by a short video from one of our customers, and let's connect soon.
Om een bedrijf zoals Agfa beter te maken kan alleen maar door teamspelers die mee aan die kar willen trekken.
Ce qui est magnifique dans le travail d'équipe, c'est de voir que chaque individualité, en fait, arrive à travailler ensemble pour un même but.
Duizend banenplan is ontstaan omdat er een tekort is van 4.000 à 5.000 mensen met SAP-kennis. Ik ben Frank Haas, verantwoordelijk voor IT-applicaties voor Radiology Solutions.
Je m'appelle Axel, je travaille au sein de l'équipe BI et on traite les données. Donc une partie de mon travail, c'est d'analyser ces données, créer des dashboards afin de faire du reporting.
We hebben Axel leren kennen op de eerste 1000 jobfairs van de mensen die afgestudeerd waren. En dat was een schot in de roos.
Donc c'est une garantie pour avoir un boulot. 3 semaines après la formation, je commençais déjà ici chez Agfa.
We zijn vooral op zoek naar jonge wolven. Die leergierig zijn, die andere mensen ook mee op sleeptouw willen nemen. En die ook in staat zijn van een netwerk te managen.
La technologie, c'est vraiment quelque chose qui me passionne ici chez Agfa parce que j'avais la possibilité d'un côté de faire mon boulot, mais aussi d'un autre côté de continuer à apprendre.
Heb je interesse in IT? Volg deze opleiding. Doe zoals Axel en ga ervoor.
Hey, Tracy.
Thank you, Carl, very, very much. And I think just in terms of Sapiens, as you well know, I think let's bring Frank in as well, that we obviously super support BE Code and 1,000 Jobs, and we will be having further meetings in terms of 2021 and how Sapiens can support this initiative further. We believe in it. We believe in job creation and helping millennials and anybody who's looking for a skill set to do with SAP, how to do it through Cole and his team and working with them.
Correct.
I think, Carl, I think it's also a great opportunity to work jointly to find the unknown people, because the ecosystem as we know it are all people we know who know SAP, who come together, but it's the unknown people and finding them, it's extremely difficult, and I think together we can try to pull it off. So a call to all the people who are listening to this broadcast, please look into your family, friends, and if you see people who think, yeah, perhaps I would look for another job, I would do something else, just go for it. I was contacted a few days ago with a colleague who said, yeah, my daughter, she's a logopedist, and but she wants to do something else, and she loves IT perhaps. I said, go to 1,000 Jobs, and I think it's an opportunity for people to do something else. It's wonderful. So I think it's a great initiative. Thanks for that.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us, Frank.
Yeah. Trace? Yeah.
So I would just like to, I'm not sure if Stijn has anything further to include or add.
No, at this stage not. I can only complement what you're saying, Frank. We have now the first 2 trainings organized in January. And honestly, we hope, and it's in everyone's interest, and not only for the people following the training, but also the people that need knowledgeable skills. So it's a win-win for everyone, that more trainings can come in the nearby future.
Yep, I think, yeah. You know it better than we, Stijn. By 2027, we have all go to S4HANA. It will be already a headache to find the people to make it happen. It's extremely difficult, and today 2027 looks endless far away, but in a blink we are there.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Stijn and Cole, for supporting the opening of today's event. We do appreciate it. And Stijn, we'll see you a little bit later with Brian Duffy in video. But thank you again. Thank you, Cole.
Thank you very much for taking the time to come to the virtual event.
It's a pleasure.
No problem. Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.